Hey guys, live from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's Saturday night. How you doing? How you doing? This is Jeff and Disick with JTT. And double check, make sure that I'm live. Should be popping in a second now. We'll put the volume down because I think will be super loud. Here we go. I'll talk about Jeff versus celebrities. So I'm going to start with the one I talked about. I'll probably going to upload later on this week, but I'll talk about it now because it's right in front of me. It talks about Korean comedian Margaret Cho, and she's been looking pretty rough. She used to be this cute young Korean girl. Now she went from this cute Korean young girl to someone's angry grandma. I was like, what the? I mean, this way does he even stay angry 24/7? But point is, this is from the Daily Beast. It's from a while ago, but maybe like about a few days ago, close to a week. Margaret Cho blasts Ice Superman DK, You'll Never Be White. Now, when I first saw that headline, I say, excuse me? Now, I'm sorry, for all intents and purposes, the guy looked as Caucasian can be, but looks like the same though. Now, let me start by reading this here. Now, Margaret Cho blasts DK saying you'll never be white. Say, wow, okay. Margaret Cho ripped MAGA Superman DK for becoming Ice Barbie's sidekick. Ice Barbie sidekick. Are you kidding me? Wow. You're going to insert the epitome of a feminist goddess, as far as you people can say, and make Dean Cain into a sidekick. You might as well call him a side chick when you had it, though. You're going to be that condescending and that disrespectful. But it says here, Margaret Cho ripped MAGA Superman Dean Cain for becoming Ice Barbie's sidekick in a new recruitment video for the DHS. Tell him pointedly, you'll never be white. I'm thinking like, what did she say that for? That blew me away when she said that. I said, where did that came from? Now, it goes on when she says this. Why would you join ICE and encourage people to join ICE when your ancestors were interned in World War II? I said, whoa, time out. I said, like, Dean King don't strike me as Asian, But then again, I'll put it this way, though. You can't go by everything you see like you can. I'll give you a quick story. When I was in a Summer Youth program many years ago, I ran across this guy, blonde hair, blue eyes. I thought he's a straight regular Caucasian dude, regular white guy. He's Puerto Rican. I'm dead serious. This is what I learned. You can't go by everything you see in terms of people. You can't judge a book by its cover. Then again, people look at me and say I'm a regular hip hop kid. Wrong. I was not into this. I was into this. I wasn't, like I said, nothing wrong. In the beginning, I was into like Run DMC, Houdini, Fat Boys, third base and all that. But as I went from from junior high school to high school, I became a metalhead. And the funny thing, I always liked rock as a kid, but once I got to my junior year of high school and senior year, I became a metalhead. I mean, I think end of junior and all through senior year, I became a full-out metalhead. People say, like, you are a metalhead. Yeah, but Jeff, you're black. And you're pasty shade of pink. What's your point? Or you're pasty shade of brown. What's your point? Or you're pasty shade of whatever color you are. What's your point? It's like you can't pigeonhole a person by their look. So when I heard Dean Cain was half Japanese, it's like, I looked into it. Goes on to say, I'm going to go to share the links here too, because you guys see this for yourself. I couldn't believe this. Okay, she goes on. This what it says here. She goes to say, why would you join ICE and encourages people to join ICE when your ancestors was interned World War II? Cho asked in the video posted an Instagram account with the text, why would you join hashtag ICE, hashtag dumb written across it? How about to protect our borders, Miss Cho? Have you thought of it that way, though? Have you thought of that way? She goes on to say, you're Japanese. She continued, you're not even white. I know you. You are not white. I'm thinking like, dang. I'm going like, yeah, I think that's when Dean Cain must have had the Brian Gumbo moment. Like, whoa, man. Now, this what goes on to say here. Cain, who is half Japanese on his father's side, was born Dean Tanaka. That's right, not Cain. His name was Dean Tanaka. But guess what? In Hollywood, names change. I've seen it. They went from their birth name to their Hollywood entertainment name. So I can't be too surprised. Goes on saying, born Dean Tanaka, and has insisted he has no shame about his heritage. Tanaka is my given name, and it's funny that people are like, well, you try to hide that? It's tattooed on my ankle, he told Variety last week. My family was interned in, I think it's Medidoka internment camp in Idaho. That was a terrible injustice, but I don't think I deserve any sort of reparations, he added. Now, if he was a liberal Democrat, he would be screaming to the high heavens for it. I promise you that. Goes on to say, the 1990s Lois and Clark star and ardent MAGA supporter posted a video to social media this week encouraging Americans to join ICE and help arrest hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, other gang members, drug traffickers, you name it. Very dangerous people. Data from Track revealed. Data from Track revealed that 7 of every 7 migrants taken by ICE don't even have a criminal record in the U.S. However, okay, 7 out of 10. Okay, think of this number: 7 out of 10. How many illegal migrants came to this country? 10 million. Not 10 or 7, 10 million people, and the numbers could be higher. For all we know, it might be 10 million, 20 million. Who knows? I can promise you, folks, it's over 10 million. It could be at least 10 million. It might be as high as 30 million. We don't know because these genes at the border, but under the last administration said, oh, let them go, let them go. Or transport them to sanctuary cities, sanctuary states like California, do some. But keep in mind, 7 out of 10 are not criminals. That's good. What about the other 3? Special numbers in the millions, not just millions, tens of millions. That means, geniuses, like say out of 10 million illegal migrants, 7 million may be those without criminal records. Cool. What about the 3 million? And before I forget, these criminals include terrorists, rapists, murderers, peds, gang members, drug traffickers, human traffickers. What about them? So do you care if a terrorist performs a terrorist act in this country? You think 9/11 is bad? I'm sick to my stomach worrying what's going to happen. But you know what? If God forbid, if a terrorist attacks happen on this country, don't you dare blame Trump. Any terrorist attacks that happens from this point on, that's on Biden because that happened on his watch. In terms of any more like these rapists, crimes goes up on Biden's watch. Murderers, Biden's watch. Pets, Biden's watch. Because keep in mind, like people think like, oh, nothing happened yet. You gonna tell me these guys gonna commit these violent crimes the same day or in public? They ain't dumb. Once these criminals come to our country, they got fade in the shadows. Now, the only thing is now to get worried because Trump's in office. And Trump said ain't happening. Then you got Holman, a real border czar. Hold on a sec. Let me start my phone to be sure. But long story short, Margaret Cho is one of these Hollywood elites who live in the Crystal Castle, who lives like away from us regular peasants. Like I said, she's protected. She's okay. I could guarantee you during COVID, she wasn't affected that much by comparison by everybody else. If she has kids or grandkids, whatever she may have, they're okay. What about the rest of us? What about the rest of us peasants? In other words, though, it's got to happen at her front door before she even notices. That's the sad reality. Has Miss Cho ever talked to the people at the border states like Texas? Oh, yeah. Texas gets hammered hard, and all that. Mexico, and did she notice? And better yet, does she care? But you got to target Dean Cain. Here's the thing, though, too. The border agents are always in danger because you got these liberal Democrats saying, unmask them. So the criminals can know where they live and go after them and their families. Are you that stupid? Do you hate the United States that much? Do you hate ICE agents that much? I mean, what proof do you need for these people? You need a terrorist attack to happen before you get the message? In case you've forgotten, though, Miss Cho, crime was spiking all over the major cities. Have you forgotten that? I haven't. My mind was still blown while I heard the Diamond District in Manhattan was getting hit. Smash and grabs happening all over the cities. I go like Beverly Hills of all places. Beverly Hills? My thing is this. These Hollywood elites don't know and don't care. All they know about is this crazy outrage, like being angry for the little guys. Well, guess what? The little guys made their choice this last election. Oh, I gotta calm down. I'm getting mad. I'm really getting mad. So I gotta calm down. Let me continue. Let me get through this here. Goes on to say, Cain still drew on his law enforcement background to help beef up recruitment numbers for the Agency for Homeland Security and for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. He goes on to say, for those who don't know, I am a sworn law enforcement officer, which he is, as well as being a filmmaker, and I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just Republicans, Democrats too. Not just talk about it. Okay, Cain also revealed that he will be sworn in as an honorary ICE agent. There's Margaret Cho looking like someone's angry grandmother again. Sheesh. Goes on to say Cho is a Korean American who rose to fame from a stand-up to subsequent casting in 1994's All American Girl. I remember that show. That's when I first saw her. I had a crush on her. I was like, that's cool. Now, this is the first network sitcom that centered Asian American family, which I think is pretty rad. I think it's cool. Her show premiered in 1994 and at ABC at the same time as Dean Cain's Lois and Clark. She returned to stand up after the show's short-lived run. That show didn't last very long. I was surprised it lasted long. I was surprised how short the run was, but Lois and Clark, is it Lois and Clark? I say Lois and Clark lasted a lot longer. So yeah, there you have it. She called Dean Cain a dumb bleep for joining the efforts as she highlighted ICE's role in detaining and deporting mostly non-white people from countries under Trump's policies. Non-white people. So, Ms. Cho, you gonna tell me there should be a quota of deporting white people? Who would you deport, Ms. Cho? Oh, let me guess. Trump supporters. Well, you better deport some brown people. You gotta support some black people, even some yellow people and other people, because they are Trump supporters. But have you noticed that most of the Trump supporters are men? Would you like to know why a lot more men vote for Trump compared to women? I can tell you why. Because the last few years, your party, Ms. Cho, has been demonizing men left, right, and forward. What I mean, they call it basically they demonizing masculinity or toxic masculinity. There's no such thing. Two liberal men made that, and then she gets slapped for that. Come on, seriously? So women can't be toxic. There's no such thing as toxic femininity. No, there's no such thing. Can men be toxic? Yes, so can women. We all know that. So don't even try to play. But the attack on men is so bad from your side. You know what? We're not valued as men. We're not valued as masculine men. We're not valued as masculine men. Trump and his party value us. So we're going on that side. And a lot of people are tired of Trump being demonized over and over and over again. And they start looking for receipts. They don't see it. So guess what? They found no receipts of Trump being this monster, but they found tons of receipts of how poor, how crappy Sleepy Joe was. And it was impressed with Ms. Harris, not at the least. Let me keep going here. I'm getting worked up again. Goes on to say King has been unapologetic about his support for the president, however, as a regular face on Fox News and booster of MAGA's anti-woke ideas. Oh yeah, the word anti-woke must make the liberal Democrats cringe. I'm sorry, you go woke, you go broke. He spoke out against James Gunn's new iteration of Superman before he was in the film, blasting the director for calling Superman an immigrant, since he believes the comment alienates supporters of Trump's mass deportations. You're never going to be white no matter how many of these white activities you participate in, Cho added in a video. No matter how racist you are, always wrong, never white. Yeah, she actually said that. Let me add it in here, because I'm going like, I can't believe she said that. I honestly can't believe she said that, but yet she did. I want to have a lot of respect for Miss Cho. I'm going like, shake my head like, but then again, a lot of these liberal Democrat celebrities make it sound like we know what's best for you. No, you don't. You don't have a clue. You think you do, but in all reality, you don't. That's the part that annoys me so much. Let's see. There we go. Make sure I'm. That's why. Yep, I'm live now. Voice like booming like crazy. Yeah. Unbelievable. But long story short, though, without the ICE agents, without the Border Patrol, without our borders being guarded, it'll be overrun by lawless. We don't know who's coming to our borders. We don't know who's coming to our country. We like to know who is. We like to know who's coming to our country. We like to know, like, either A, you know what, that's good. We could maybe, we have some people come in, be a productive part of our country, or these are people who should not come in this country. I mean, 9/11 should be the most starkest of reason why we should tighten the borders. For some funny reason, it's either going in one ear and out the other. So it's like, oh, they come and overstay the visas. Lock it down, meaning like, hire more people to make sure that these people are properly vetted. It's kind of amazing. You got so many people who are vetted already. I mean, swear them in, for heaven's sakes. Hire more judges, hire more lawyers, hire more officials that get to the people who are proven and been vetted, make them citizens. Not these people come in with their flags, burning our flags, acting like they conquered our country. Are you serious? Seriously? Come on. Make it make sense, people. I mean, this is getting pretty old right now. I'm being quite serious. Hold on a sec. Nope. And oh, snap. Okay, now I got it. Yep, I got that. Now, once I found him, maybe going like, there's no way that's happened, but they did. I think, talk about a sprinter who's beat up her boyfriend in the airport, I think last week. And I'm going like, you can't be serious. And I'm going like, and the funny thing, like, other women think it's funny. They think it's the most hilarious thing. And the boyfriend don't want to press charges because he will be labeled as a victim. Hold on. Hold on, let's see, find it. Yep. I found it. I believe it'll be on YouTube. Not YouTube, Yahoo Sports. In fact, this is what it says right here. Video emerges of Sha'Carri Richardson shutting boyfriend at Seattle airport prior to arrest. Yeah, if I heard correctly though, she's been like throwing hands at her boyfriend. He chooses birthday. She's like physically abusing him, and some women find it funny. So let me get this straight. Let that be a man throwing hands at a woman like that, and somebody try to make jokes on it. You know how bad this guy be? The guy be in jail already. He'd be probably in prison. And who would make the comments like, "Oh, it's funny," you know, that'd be shut down quick too. Okay, this is says here. Video emerges of Shakari Richardson shoving boyfriend at Seattle airport prior to arrest. Richardson was held nearly 24 hours before being released ahead of the USA Track and Field Championships last weekend. So she almost missed that championship because she can't keep her hands to herself. A week after reports that sprinter Shakari Richardson has been arrested at Seattle Tacoma International Airport, video of the incident has emerged. Richardson was arrested after an argument with her boyfriend and was charged with fourth-degree domestic assault. This case has since been cleared. TMZ published security footage of the incident. How did they do that? Seriously, how did they do that? Which took place on July 27th. The footage which shows Richardson repeatedly shoving her boyfriend, fellow sprinter Christian Coleman, as they walked around the airport concourse. At one point, Richardson pushed Coleman into a large pole. Unbelievable. I wonder if I can watch this here. Let me copy that link so I can show you. I can show you guys and all that. But it's kind of weird to let a guy put heads on a woman like that in the airport. He'd be arrested and stays in jail not for 24 hours, a lot longer. That's not something that I think. That's something that I know. You said to see this here. This is from TMZ Sports. Now they got sports section, TMZ. What's going on here? See. Okay, I see it. She's in his face. What's this? And he tried to walk away from her and yep. Shoves against the pole. Yep. Just like that. He tried to get away from it. He's like, yep. Wow. Oh, that? He's pushing, shoving. Are you serious? You serious? She's not living. This guy is bigger than her. This guy could have beat the brakes off of her, and she's still making this guy's life difficult. Are you serious? Wow, unreal. Mm. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna check the replies here. Let me see what the replies say here. I'm curious now. I want to see what they gotta say about that. Ha ha! Shocker! Shocker! This the one lady says non-story. The guy was assaulted. The guy was being pushed around and all that. Next, my response was real. And then she lies and he assaulted her. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's all about testosterone. I love it. Folks, if you click on the link on X, click on the replies, you're gonna be tripping here. It's all the testosterone. I wonder she taking some type of testosterone making that violently aggressive. No one says bring back shame. Yes, shame, public shaming should be brought back. No lie. Okay, another person said, this is why we are having fewer children. Duh, no kidding. No one says, how do you get arrested for fourth-degree assault? They found a way. In Seattle. Yeah, good point. That's a very liberal city. That's a good question. How do you get arrested for fourth-degree assault in Seattle, in a very liberal state? I mean, a liberal city. Well, the state and city is probably super liberal. Next. This person says she might be a man. No one says, wow, she is crazy. It was one of her biggest fans. I was one of her biggest fans. Probably not anymore. She's begging him to strike her. Her birth is he's not exactly Shaquille O'Neal, but he's no Pee Wee Herman. The guy's big enough to smack the taste out of her mouth. I respect the young man's restraint. Sha'Carri Richardson needs to be disciplined bad for her abuse actions towards men. Thank you. And that was if, if that was me, she'd been she'd been knocked out, crying on the floor. Facts. I'm sorry. I think anybody else will like beat the brakes off her. And then this guy told her boyfriend Coleman, son, I told you to leave. Oh no, okay, I'm not gonna repeat that. Folks, you gotta read it. I'm not gonna repeat that on account Guy Leslie had me bad. I'm not gonna say that. Holy moly, I'm not gonna say that. Wow. Okay, that was all she was arrested for. I don't defend her behavior, but it seems like a minor argument to me, not a fight which you could be arrested for. In my country, Southeast Europe, no one arrests you for arguing and a bad pushing in public. I think she did more than that. Ooh, yeah. Wow. She did nothing wrong. He cheated. You shouldn't be threatening physical violence. Here's the thing: if he cheated on her, break it off with him. If he cheated, break it off. Simple as that. Okay. Next one says, "Do you really know her strength? She did not punch him, kick him, or trip him, or kick him. She is stronger than most men alive. No offense, she's not Wonder Woman, so stop the cap. Stop the gaslighting. Stronger than most men alive? Are you serious? Shikari is not. Oh. Hmm. All for nothing. I know of some women who work on the farms who's way stronger than Shikari. Thank you very much. And I mean women who work on the farms in Johnstown. They're way stronger than her. So stop giving me this stuff. Oh, she's strong. Stop. Stop and stop. I'm still bewildered at how someone could get arrested for this. A warning at least. Arrest, no way. Of course you're gonna say that. She said she needs to double quick. Okay, at that part of it, if the guy is unfaithful and being disrespectful, yeah, she should break up with him, not make a public spectacle of it. But that's what she does. Okay, but long story short here, let me continue the story with Shikari. Police arrested Richardson after video viewing security footage of the altercation. The sprint was held as self-correctional entity in Des Moines, Washington, that evening, and stayed there for nearly 24 hours before being released on July 28th, according to jail records. So it's on her record, I think. Coleman reportedly refused to press charges after the incident. I'll put it this way, though. I'm sorry. A lot of guys would say, to get this, I press the charges, that's it. And men get tired of being disrespected, tired get smacked up. That's it. I see videos of men with being jacked up by women who freely throw hands at them like they're like punching bags. Now, I'm not saying Shakira did that, but she did, cause up a spectacle where she got arrested. Coleman and Richardson went public with their relationship in February, though Coleman repeatedly told police that the two have been together for 2 years. Check this out. Under Washington state law, calls related to domestic violence require mandatory arrest if police respond within 4 hours of the incident. That's probably what happened. Following the incident, Richardson took part of the USA Track and Field Championship in Eugene, Oregon last weekend. Despite advancing to the semifinals of the women's 100-meter race last Thursday, Richardson later pulled out of that competition. Okay. She went on to compete in 200 meters race Sunday, but fell short of the cut to advance to the finals in the event. At the time, reports came out about the arrest. USATF told USA that it was aware of the incident but did not provide additional comment. The organization have yet to comment following the release of the security video. As the reigning world champion in the 100 meters, Richardson will automatically qualify for the event at the World Championship in Tokyo in September. Oh, hold on a sec here. This is totally insane. Yeah, I split my fingernail. But here's my question though. What if that was a man doing it to a woman? What if the man was accusing a woman cheating on him and he was pushing her like that? You think he'd be like, be lenient on him like her? Nope, they will not. No, not by a long shot. I can hear it now. You're so much bigger, stronger, and all that. And I'm this one commentator like she's stronger than most men alive. Are you serious? She is not Wonder Woman, so you can stop it. Some folks, I swear, this totally has lost it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this here. Oh, here we go. Okay, Margaret Cho. I'm not seeing some crazy things though, but that was off the charts. That's totally off the charts. Okay, now last but not least, I want to talk about this one person here. Okay, what's up, Fred? How you doing, bud? How you doing, buddy? Okay, let me check over here on this side too. Okay, cool. Okay, for those who are familiar with Shannon Sharp, he's like the MC of Club Shay Shay. I think I hit with a sexual harassment lawsuit, something like that. And I think he beat that. I think he won, but it came at a price. It came at a there it goes. It's called $20 million defamation case against Sean Sharp had been dismissed. Let's see. Let me look at this very carefully. I should read this very carefully though. Because if I've heard correctly though, yep. This is from last week of July. Because I'm correct though, like he won against the defamation lawsuit, but he was fired from ESPN. Let's find out. This is from peoplemagazine.com. Why was Shannon Sharp fired from ESPN? What the former NFL star has said about leaving the network, but he's been fired. I want to have something to do with the defamation lawsuit. Shannon Sharp said he was at peace with ESPN decision to ask him for the network. The guy's making money already. He has his own thing called Club Shay Shay. He's making money. He's making money. Period. Shannon Sharp, okay, says this is what you need to know. Shannon Sharp was confirmed that he was let go from ESPN on July 30th. The former NFL athlete departure happened shortly after he settled a 50. Okay, not defamation lawsuit. It's something else. The former NFL athlete's departure happened shortly after he settled a $50 million grape and essay lawsuit. Sharp said he's at peace with the network's decision. The funny thing is, like, people were busting his chops because he's going with a much younger woman. Here's the thing: the guy's in his 50s. If you talk to a woman like 25 and older, and I'd be going, it's kind of pushed him. At the same time, she's a consenting adult. Now she's like just turned 18. I'd be going like, okay, there's a problem here. But I have a problem with women saying like, oh, men should stick to their own ages. Okay, ladies, before you start telling men to stick to women within their age range, practice what you preach. Do I have to go there with your cougars out there? Go for younger guys? Don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that noise. But I digress. But let's go on about with Shannon Sharpe departing ways with ESPN. Shannon Sharpe has officially parted ways with ESPN. The former professional football player was cut from the network less than 2 weeks after he settled a $50 million grape and essay lawsuit. Sharpe initially stepped back from ESPN in April after the suit was first filed against him. Sharpe has been with the network since 2023, when he joined the talk show First Take alongside Stephen A. Smith and Molly Tiram. I hope I pronounced this right. He appeared as an NFL and NBA analyst who shared his thoughts on games, trades, and industry news. Although he signed a multi-year contract extension with ESPN in June 2024, he officially cut ties with the network in July 2025. People reach out to ESPN for comment, but the network has not addressed the exit. Meanwhile, Sharpe briefly spoke about the decision and shared his mindset. They did what they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that, Sharpe said on a July 3rd episode of Nightcap, on his Nightcap podcast. Is there everything you need to know about Shannon Sharpe was fired for ESPN? Okay, now it's going to go into the meat of here. Why was Shannon Sharpe fired from ESPN? Hang on, folks. ESPN has not shared an official reason for Sharpe's exit. However, Sharpe's departure occurred less than 2 weeks after he settled a $50 million grape and essay assault. Now, I'm not going to take his side and say, like, well, he was in the right. I can't, because one, I wasn't there. If there's something like any type of situation he might be wrong and all that, I cannot. I will not take sides. But then again, people say believe all women, but I'm not going to say she's in the wrong. I can't say that. I won't say that. Simple as that. But long story short, though, it's a bad look for ESPN to be associated with Shannon Sharpe like that. But if I gotta be honest, though, men who become successful and reach that height should be very, very careful. Because the problem with men who become successful, I call it the Icarus complex. Remember the flight of the Icarus? This young man got these wings made of feathers and wax, and the higher he goes, the greater danger he has in falling. And we try to reach the sun, the heat melt the wax off the feathers, and then they come crashing down. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe had tasted that. He's coming to. He's not like destitute or anything like that. He's still got his podcast, Club Shay Shay, and other like podcasts. The man's gonna make money no matter what, but he had guaranteed big money with ESPN, and that's gonna hurt him. Okay, this is what it says here too. When the lawsuit was first filed in April, Sharpe denied any wrongdoings and announced he would step away from ESPN. Prior to joining the sports media world, he played a tight end with the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens and won 3 Super Bowls. That's impressive. He was inducted to the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame in 2011. In addition with his work at ESPN, Sharpe found success with his podcast, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. So between the 2 podcasts and him bringing these big celebrities, yeah, he's going to make money. Goes on to say, next question. Why did Shannon Sharpe first leave ESPN? Okay, goes on to say, he's looking sharp. Okay, big smile. Although Sharpe was officially released from ESPN in July, he has been absent from the network since April 24th, 2025. At the time, Sharpe wrote on Instagram that he was temporarily stepping back from the network just a few days after the grape and essay lawsuit was filed against him. My statement is found here, and this is the truth, Sharpe wrote in a since delegated Instagram post. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting my time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. ESPN supported his decision to pause his appearance and told Variety in a statement, "This is a serious situation and we agree with Shannon's decision to step away. Okay, next question. What did the lawsuit say against Shannon Sharpe? Well, basically, he's accused of rape and essay of a woman. We're going to find out who this woman is. The Hall of Fame's legal troubles began in April of 2025 when a woman who was never publicly named accused Sharpe of raping her on multiple occasions over the course of nearly 2 years. Rocky consensual relationship per the complaint obtained by People. Okay. The woman, who has since moved to Nevada, claimed she met Sharpe at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 22. Okay, that's a problem right there. It's one thing, it's like I said though, he's a grown man, she's a grown woman, but 22 is a bit young. 25, you can kind of push it, but 22 is a bit young in 2023. She alleged after he made several advances towards her, she agreed to meet up with him and even become romantically involved. Basically, she knew the guy has money. I'm sorry, he used his money and fame to woo her, basically. I'm not saying she deserved these crimes, but she still should exercise more caution. Because like, there's not me giving Shannon Sharpe an excuse, there's none. But ladies, you gotta be careful. Seriously, you gotta be careful. So that way you're protected, you're covered. And Shannon Sharpe should know better that way his behind's covered. However, she alleges that their accounts were not always consensual, and that he will also record their sexual encounters and share with other people without her consent. Okay, that's where he's wrong. I'm sorry. If that's true and they can prove it, he's in the wrong. You know, that's where he should get slapped with that lawsuit. A woman can, okay, this one gets pretty murky here. A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, a no means no. Duh, that's true. The complaint stated. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand the basic concept, which is true. That goes for anybody, from the richest to the poorest. Once a woman said no, that's one time. Take the hint. Walk away. If a woman says no, stop, walk away. Walk away with your pride, dignity, and most importantly, your freedom. In the $50 million lawsuit, the woman further claimed that Sharpe became violent with her and threatened to kill her after she was laid to his home one time. Wow, sounds like a pimp now. Man. The plaintiff claimed that she wanted to pause their relationship after seeing him accidentally live stream his. Oh, dude. After he accidentally live streamed himself having sex with another woman on Instagram in September of 2024. I was going to shake my head on this one here. It's like, that should have been it right there, but still. Shannon Sharpe, he's a different type of crazy right there. However, the following month, a woman alleges that Sharpe forced her into the car and made her perform some very explicit acts on her. Basically, say he did some things to her that is not consensual, basically. Sharpe grabbed her head and forced her to look at him as she sobbed. The lawsuit alleged that he said at that point, look at this, look at my arm, I got chills. That's how good this is. Yeah, that don't sound good. Basically, he looks pretty bad, extremely bad. He figured they pay for the damages, so that way we'll go deeper into trouble, basically. Goes on to say here, in addition, the damage accusations made in the lawsuit, the woman's attorney, Tony Busby, remember that name? Yeah, Diddy, also released an audio clip, a recording that he alleged that Sharpe was threatening his client. The clip, which was obtained by People, it appeared to be a woman telling Sharpe not to manipulate her. Oh my word. This is supposedly what he said. If you say that word one more time, I'm going to choke the bleep out of you. When I see you, a voice resembling Sharp's. Wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow. Well, like I said, long story short, let me copy this so you guys can see for yourself. I'm probably going to react to this later because or a separate video because I'm going like I gotta read this whole thing though because it's a lot of it. There you go. It's okay. Trump talk about what the Shannon said about his firing. We really know already. They said they gotta do what they gotta do. Caught that part. What would Trump do next? Goes on to say, after his firing, he's continued to release episodes of both his audio shows, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, which has a combined 6 million subscribers. According to the Athletic, Sharp's contract with Volume Podcast Network is ending in August. He's was looking to sign a new network for a contract that can see $100 million before the lawsuit became public. It's unclear what Sharp and his projects currently stand. So basically, he was there to make $100 million, but because this lawsuit and other things happening, is up in the air. Woo! Oh, wow. Messy, messy, messy. Very messy. Other than that, folks, I gotta leave it at this for now. I got a lot more stuff to upload, and this is like pretty weird. You got Shannon Sharp who got himself in trouble. The guy, this I don't get. Mr. Sharp's focus should be like being about his purpose, become more successful, helping his friends and family and all that. Instead of chase these super young women, which got get him in trouble. Know your boundaries, know your limits. Don't be thinking like because you got money, you're gonna try to push your luck. Don't. Set yourself some boundaries so you won't cross them. So that way, you don't have to worry about getting hit with a lawsuit. That's one. You got Sha'Carri, who got arrested for supposedly assaulting her boyfriend. Now, the word is like he's supposedly cheating on her. All I gotta say, break up with him and be done with it, for heaven's sakes. Then you got Margaret Cho roasting Dean Cain. My thing is this, though, Miss Cho. So you be okay with the criminals coming your way, your neck of the wood? You be okay with that? You be okay with the gang members coming your way, or other criminals, drug pushers, traffickers? You be okay with it coming your way? Because until it comes your way, of course you're gonna point fingers like Dean Cain's an idiot. But what about the ICE agents who put their lives on the line every time? I kind of look at California, how these guys getting their behinds handed to them. And where's their support? The only support they got so far, they got with Donald Trump and the armed forces, or to be overran. But keep in mind, though, folks, you can talk, say like Donald Trump sucks in terms of ICE, but until it comes knocking on your door, of course you can talk brave. But until the day when some bad guys come knocking your door, you gotta pray that someone's gonna be out there to protect you. Unless you got guns yourselves or arm yourself and have somebody else watching you, keep that in mind. But we live in a great country, America. Let's not forget that. And we should not abuse that as well. Other than that, folks, I'm going to end this right now because I got to get some rest. And tell me your thoughts and comments down below between these three stories about Shannon Sharp and the trouble he's in. Sha'Carri Richardson, the trouble she's in, and in fact, Margaret Cho, the angry-looking grandmother, have a problem with Dean Cain, which I didn't know was Japanese. That's something I didn't realize. Other than that, folks, I'm going to end this right now. I say thank you for being there. Take care. Peace.